it was like a competitive series, like all the way through. Close Lijiang, Throne of Anubis, I mean, went to 9 as it always tends to do. The push map was pretty close. And Gibraltar, I mean, maybe a little bit of a fall off there, but this team should be good right now. Riker, King, Vision. You have your Genji, you have your Cassidy player, you have Lyra in the back line. You know, there's no reason why you can't do work. You have Icy that can sub in, you got Renka that can come in, Rocket's there as well. Please qualify for the main event, TSM. I'm begging you.
Well, we want them to do more than qualify, right? I think we want them to qualify and then play well. As I know, the winner of this match would play against Nightmare, right? So not an easy matchup. But we'll take a look at the Team Z lineup. We saw X10 the other day, some really nice hit scan play.
Yes. I think the DPS of this team is so good. They are so good. X10 on the, I think obviously like Peace on the Genji, X10 on like the Cassidy, I think it was, really solid. I was very, very impressed by this team, especially like seeing how they had like, emerged from the groups and obviously like the way that they had to fight through. And that Absolution team I also thought were pretty solid. I don't know, like this whole group, I'm pretty happy with it. So again, for a team that only managed to take the one map off Citrus Nation, I'm going somewhere with this, trust me. And they won it on control. Yeah. I was like, okay, I do want to see them get out of the gate strong. Take a control map win. Let's see what TSM do when you make them sweat.
All right. Well, I mean, we're going to find out right now because the players are ready. That means I'm going to leave. It's time for you guys to start talking even more. So, guys, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, let's jump in. TSM versus Team Z. A lot of black and white out here. That's fine.
A rare non-Lijiang tower.
Okay, Nepal sighting. Interesting. Not the least. I think Ilios is probably even less common than that, maybe. But again, we will see Nepal played out between these two. Again, so much room for that Farah play. That's sometimes why teams like to go here. Although, like, you can do much the same on, on a map like Lijiang Tower. I think it's marginal. I think it might just be a very mild preference. Lijiang offers many of the same sort of compositions, opportunities to play particular heroes as Nepal does at times. Maybe hoping for like a village high roll or something similar. Either way, X10 and Peace look great. We hyped them up a little bit, but we are looking at King and Vision alongside Riker. Incredibly experienced players, especially through contenders for many years. I want to see TSM just come out of the gates and, show some momentum.
TSM, what do you think about them potentially not playing the Orisa? Gonna play some D.Va here. D.Va with Squid on the Zen. So see how this plays out into the Queen, where the Queen's gonna have it feels like a great time here fighting over the point against that D.Va.
I definitely feel you'd probably rather have the Orisa here. Teams you have like a composition that, I don't know. I mean, you do not want to get caught with the Discord as Queen, but I think the Zen was intended for Orisa, honestly. So we'll see what the plan is now for TSM. They've seen this little change. They've definitely lost priority just based on the tank matchup here. Poking down that Junker Queen, though, might let them start to take liberties here. Get a bit more aggressive towards the point. Painkiller here. You see that Discord on them, but they're getting a lot of healing. Peace low, very, very low, and really susceptible with the Discord themselves here. So eventually, Peace overextends, and the deflect from King is enough to get the player advantage.
Yeah, you do find that kill off of a lot of the extra damage there provided by that Discord orb, like you mentioned. Going to be difficult to kind of collapse onto Squid, and as I say that, Painkiller with a shout just gets right up in the Zen's face and takes him out. As Team Z still in control of the point, that's going to be a D-Mech here as well. So Team Z getting off to a nice start.
You have to imagine you want to bring a bit more against the Junker Queen here, as the whip shots and just be able to displace the Queen slightly. Probably a little bit more desirable. And yeah, Riker very quickly going back over to the Orisa saying, well, if you're not going to play her, we will.
So it'll be control for Team Z off the rib. So this will have Riker going over to Orisa here. So still not, some extra damage with the Zen, but it feels like, between rally and everything else that the Brig can provide, even with some extra help there for the Genji, right? That the Brig obviously provides. So, the extra damage output kind of gets negated.
All right, here we go. Orbital Ray from Len. Interesting little off angle here, straight to the Deadeye of Vision. Well, a little bit unfortunate, but still, Team Z able to run up on this one, catch Vision out with a knife, and then that Orbital Ray is heading in the wrong direction from TSM. Rampage pretty good against Transcendence, by the way, but even with anti-heal active, getting rid of Painkiller at Hanmei was huge.
Yeah, we talked about the other day, right? The use of the Queen ult, the Rampage against Orbital Ray, right? Denying a lot of the healing benefits of Orbital Ray, all the healing benefits of it. Same type of deal against the Transcendence, right? So that should be a little bit of an advantage there for Team Z as TSM, they use everything in that fight. Now Peace will be able to come back in with a Blade. Could be huge, right? Because there's no Brig on the other side, obviously with like a Rally Bash or anything like along those lines. So potentially a free big Blade here for Peace.
All right, extending with a little bit of that dynamite, but in they come anyway. Blade for Peace. Yep, getting Liar in the end. They can't quite get away. Right, a little snipe out. There's still only 3 up for TSM. Can they get value out of the Ashe on that high ground still? Vision is in a good spot. King be able to deflect, find that Hanbei pick off is good, but I don't see Team Z giving this one up either. Great dynamites though. Vision is actually churning out damage from this high ground, and Riker has been very hard to shift at every javelin hitting Painkiller. This is a great way to stall the point, and there'll be reinforcements here in no time too.
Yes, Axton gets quite low, as I believe he just had Len there to heal, so not enough healing output to keep the players on Team Z alive. So that's a huge fight win there for TSM, as Riker just staying on the point takes some damage. You can get the heal onto Squid to get another Transcendence, so that's a massive fight win there for TSM. Probably keeps them in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been game winning, but we'll see if that holds. As Vision gets taken down, perhaps they were still perched on that high ground. Painkiller wants to push up, and here's the Transcendence. Yeah, no Junker Queen ultimate available quite yet. Len dicing with death and a Discord orb on the Juno. They're able to get away. Blade from King, can it break the deadlock? They do get that Juno down finally, and just whips around, dealing with the Cassidy. I don't think TSM might have this. They've got that player advantage now to work with. Flip back onto the point, deal with the Junker Queen.
Oh, yeah,
might be there.
The rally used too. The rally used by Hanbei that they try and use there. They do flip the points and may give themselves an opportunity to get a touch here as X10 goes over to Tracer.
Maybe the Genji touches here. Yes, overtime secured. Peace takes a big hit for that. Can't quite get away. Riker pursues doggedly. Bob here defensive just to cover the point. And Painkiller just blown to smithereens before they can move up. That's the risk against this poke style. Bob also lending his firepower to the mix. Looks like he's actually able to fire off the point there. TSM, bring it back.
Yeah, it looks like Vision actually just tries to like move the Bob, just like knocks him around the corner there, so Abel can get some shots down. But really competitive round number 1 here between TSM and Team Z. So TSM has enough in the end. They have to make some changes off their original comp, right? They end up coming out with a Diva base composition, but they'll continue to run this Zen.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I definitely think it's a confident pick. It feels a bit scary against, you know, any anti-heal effects, excuse me. And do we just, I mean, this comp is like a big, sorry, excuse my vernacular, a big FU to Zen if they're gonna play Sigma on Sanctum, okay.
I think obviously the Zen is like probably going after like the Queen, right? The Discord, so like now you play behind this Sigma shield, which Sigma obviously very good on this point. On Nepal, you can really negate any of the effects that Zen would have. And then you're also going to play a Zen of your own.
I just want to point out, Sigma is more than fine right now. Like, I think, again, got like a light balance pass, but it's still super viable. All the tanks, like, feel like pretty even footing. It's just not a comp that, like, you know, uses the Juno ultimate as well as others because they want to poke and not hard engage. Obviously, you know, Juno ultimate wants you to walk up with the beam. Harmony, though, picked off early, despite the Sigma shield. And we're able to keep the Zen in the fight here. So this will be, yeah, Painkiller being forced back over towards Spawn, and Riker gets to take up this right side of the point now. Now this gets a bit annoying for Sigma.
Yes, now once you have control of this area, right, it's difficult for Sigma to move up. That's where you can definitely see the Orisa start to come together, where, you know, you would potentially even think that you could play a little bit further up there if you're TSM, as now they actually start to move on in.
Riker just ignoring Painkiller, do not care. Where's your DPS, brother? I'm trying to get into the cookie jar here. Again, when you're fortified, not even the accretion can get your attention. So that is a problem for the Sigma comp. They do not want to be run up on, which is exactly what TSM are trying to do.
Yeah, just you use that orbital ray and you see Riker just run straight on through, past the opponents, you know, as that spear spin, just put down that extra damage. There's no fear that he's gonna get taken out there. So huge start here this round. TSM, they'll move up past the halfway point. So Peace trying to make this far work from the side here. Hasn't really been able to find anything in terms of kills. Just kind of just damage.
Yeah, damage that hasn't really been capitalized on either, Matt. That's kind of been the issue here. Team Z have not factored in this round very much. Again, Sigma who? Don't care. Gonna push past you. Painkiller with the Discord orb there, so that Terror Surge hits a little harder. They do have okay. They do have ult. Riker's also used their Fortify already, so they can't just drop out of that easily, and there's Peace with a barrage. Nice. Bob's traded out. Layer at least able to get rid of it now, but Team Z have that player advantage. And also, of course, that Gravitic Flux.
I mean, they should be able to get the point now, right? I mean, flip the point here, everybody's dead, and this is where Team Z, Mitch, I think you can actually start to make some, like, serious progress in terms of bouncing back, right? You have this Flux here at the choke. They're gonna have double support ult on the side of TSM. What? Do they not know visions here? I guess not.
They do not have the awareness. What is the play here? Oh, see this Sigma skin, you can't see his feet. Like, why have they done that? Just realized that. He's got boat shoes or something? Sacrilegious. Oh, okay. Vision inside the orbital. Ray still dies. Yeah, that's X10's obviously headshot pressure. There's the Flux. Okay. Bye, Dr. Van de Kuiper, whatever they call you. That's tough, yeah. Getting displaced there by Riker pretty comfortably. TSM should be able to move back for a flip here. X10 is still scary. Hanbei too, apparently. But the point should be getting flipped up behind Riker. Now they can pull off of it probably, or just play inside this small room.
Yeah, as TSM will get very close here to taking the round. You're probably going to be able to get a touch here from Team Z. Looks like one player kind of steps up onto the point. Xen trying to put some pressure on in the back line. That's going to be a dynamite that connects.
Oh my goodness! The shots across the map for Squid are huge. X10 taken low, and then Riker just moves up to finish the job. Switch to the Orisa comes a little late in the day for Painkiller. And Team Z concede Nepal.
So pretty close Nepal, I would say, all things considered. I think TSM comes out, plays some characters that I think probably tries to counter what Team Z was going to do on the other side, right? Specifically looking at that Zen pick for maybe Team Z wanting to play the Queen. The Team Z, they kind of try and go with a Sigma comp in round number 2. Doesn't exactly work, but pretty back and forth, though, I would say.
Yeah, look, first round, absolutely. I don't think the TSM are expecting to see Junker Queen out of the gate. The Diva looks
probably not
pretty bad against that. You don't want to be there. The defense actually doesn't do a whole lot. You're not mitigating like all this poke damage here. They keep the Zen though. I always feel like Team Z having Zen on Sanctum is more reasonable of a pick given the rest of the comp to play around. But Squid is nasty with it, able to get value out of Transcendence even with the threat of Junker Queen's Rampage. So a lot to work with, I think, and I'd be pretty happy with this outcome for your TSM. You can kind of play whatever and still get the dub here in the first map.
Yeah, as we take a look at some of the highlights here from the first round is King, I mean, had some 2 kills here. That's when they use the rally kind of at the end there, and you see this little Bob. He's just kind of moving him, just edging him around the corner. There is finally able to put some damage down. Not more of a defensive stance from Bob. Pushes him around the corner.
Yeah, you can see here. This orbital ray. I think we saw a couple of players even die within that. So burst damage will still get you there, but for the most part, right? Riker is ignoring Painkiller. This was, I think, the one moment where Team Z are actually able to get back in here. So there's a barrage, there's Riker overextends, but the game gets a bit complicated because there's 2 Bobs in play. So maintaining LOS to the Orisa there is a little bit hard. This is sad. Very sad.
I mean,
you can't actually do anything about that against Orisa. That's why it's so annoying to get run up on by this comp.
Well,
you can't really like reliably.
Doctor.
Well, his last name is De Kuiper because he's Dutch, right?
Yeah.
I think I added a couple extra words.
First name. Yeah.
No, I said Dr. Van de Kuiper because I just assumed being Dutch he has Van in his last name. I don't think that's true, but it's fine. I reckon I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and Matt bringing it up.
Lore experts, check him out. Fact check him. We get the lore experts.
Yeah, I thought we weren't fact checking. Sorry, I thought fact checking was banned in this debate.
Nah, here on this show we do that. Here we do that.
Why is my mic being muted?
Yeah, mute his mic. TSM, they won't get a map selection here coming up. It'll be Team Z, where like, can you go like if you wanted to play Queen, let's say, right, and that was kind of what you wanted to do. probably look at like a New Junk City, right? Like I don't think you really get play a Zen on maps like that.
Yep. We've seen her on New Queen Street as well.
What you want to do?
You can go there.
New Queen Street as well. So there's definitely some options for Team Z.
Honestly, I've seen her on Esperanza. I've seen her on Runasapi as well. Options there. I just don't think you want to deal with maps that have this like really oppressive level of high ground, unless you have like really reliable ways to get your queen where she needs to be. A control is like a reasonable map for it, especially Shrine, because she can block LOS in the middle of the point, so you can contest and also, you know, LOS those projectiles. King's Row here picked for Team Z. TSM like, I think we know how to play this one. Let's see what we've got.
This is an absolute must-win though map for Team Z. Like you know, you lose here, you go down 0-2. I think it is pretty tough to be able to try and bounce back at that point. So we'll see now. Team Z can kind of even up the odds. So, King's Row obviously gives you a lot of different flexibility in terms of what you want to play.
Look, absolutely. I think that like that tried and true Orisa star for TSM is going to be great. We've seen Diva here. Fine. I mean, could do so much with that high ground control. Especially in terms of trying to get your hit scan up there, pave the way for them. We've seen even Orisa comps try and do that. So yeah. I'm happy to see this here from Team Z. Again, we talked about this in the previous series and you felt like, why are we picking King's Row against a team that we feel like might pound for pound be better than me? But this again is just the last stand for so many of these teams, trying to put their best foot forward. I have no issues with Team Z. I think they'll look great at DPS here. Hanzo out of the gates will be fun. Again, Hanzo can now one-shot 250 HP heroes. Not that there's that many of those left in the game, but still be quite effective.
What do you think about this though for TSM? Obviously on defense, they'll be playing the Alari, a hero that's kind of fallen out of the meta, deeply out of the meta, right? She was like pretty picked often in our previous stage, even like in Face It a little bit. We saw, you know, some Alari from the NA region now playing the Juno. This could be another little interesting wrinkle on defense, as it'll be Team Z actually playing the Orisa here off the rip.
Right, now have a look. Not much to be seen there though. And the Hanzo, of course, will be switched off. So May Cassidy here. TSM love a little bit of this Diva look, and they're happy enough to try it against the Orisa. Okay, so annoying on the high ground, oppressive, also denies people trying to perch up there. Squid just playing whatever they like here, which I am very much here for. But Riker did get desuited there, and they have no May left.
Well, I mean, you have no May, and then your tank is also out of mech. So essentially, you don't have really a tank either. I mean, if they would have been able to get that kill there onto Riker, that would have been huge. But they actually ramped through the hotel instead of putting pressure on the Diva.
That's allowed Riker to back up here. High ground reassumed by Vision. Extended Vision's training at the moment. The arena, what Painkiller does from there, he probably wishes he had the Halt ability, the old Orisa. Not likely, fam. I won't be happy.
Yoink them down.
Exactly, that was pretty busto. King's back in the fight here, of course, so May set up. And TSM playing a good neutral here, not overcommitting. They have slowly let Painkiller get this ledge control now. And I think Riker was hoping to unseat them there, but that doesn't work, so... Who's joining Painkiller? What are they doing with this high ground? It's unclear what the plan is from here on out for Team Z.
Yeah, Painkiller's not going to just run through this high ground alone, right? You know, you're denying this, like, perch, right? But is the plan just run through and try and, 1v1 a Cassidy there? Is Peace will get King?
There's nothing to see here. For Extend, and Vision finds him from the high ground. Painkiller low, Rally might not be enough to save them here. Fan that bloody hammer, son. Painkiller does fall.
The benefits of the Rally. I mean, they're up on the high ground. The Rally's down there by the hotel. I mean, they're not even... that's got to be a new Rally tech, right? If it's cross map, but not even able to get anything there. I mean, that's like you mentioned though, Mitch. Like, what is the goal of Painkiller taking that position? Like, if you had a Genji that can get up there and maybe play from the opposite side, or you're playing afar and poking, right? You take that position, great. But like, and everybody else on the ground, what's the goal?
Yeah, what is the plan? That pylon's in a super annoying spot, by the way. I'm gonna remember that one. Very hard to see. So Vision here can sort of poke with a level of confidence now. Still no ticks yet. Peace has found King though, so that far has finally been grounded. Riker's low, but can get a remake here if they're left alive. Captive some for Squid, but the follow-up opportunities don't really seem to be there. They did get Peace though. And now, poke this Orisa down. Painkiller getting a little bit low, but orbital rays available here for Laya. Is going to let them go straight away. Len also has one of their own, and Laya gets caught out there. Vision has to go to work, but Orisa's so healthy, benefiting from all that healing from the Juno, and now there's a rally up for Hanbei. Team Z can't lose this fight.
Yeah, I mean, you have Squid still alive. Somehow makes it the high ground here with Vision. They're trying to get healed all up. That's going to be getting closer towards that second checkpoint here. But Squid finds peace, so you may not even get second checkpoint out of this. It gets contested here. It's going to be a rally from Hanbei as we're below a minute.
Okay, Painkiller still needs to be shifted here, right? Of course, returning on the Orisa. Vision still getting healed by that bloody pylon. It's just not stopped. Squid is almost built yet another captive sun here. So much freedom. Looks like Peace has gone up there. Can they get rid of Vision? They need the pylon gone first, I think. Here comes Riker back on. He does allow at least Team Z to get some more capture progress, but now the fight is really on, and Vision again wants to try and explode from the high ground. Hindrance there. Captive Sun debuff on Peace as well, and eventually Squid gets the job done. Yeah, Iliari, such a nice adjustment here for TSM. And Team Z, they're almost out of time.
Yeah, I mean, the spot that they have the pylon in, like you mentioned, that is some filthy stuff. Is not really able to get any type of angle to take it out, and Team Z, they've tried a bunch of different things, right? Lots of changes across their DPS line. They have found nothing that works thus far. You're going to have an orbital array probably for both sides, but TSM ends up with double DPS ultimate, right? So they're in a pretty decent spot.
Peace is going to try it again. It's just a Fian task to try and unseat Vision, who's dropped down to the high ground anyway, and there's two! Oh, the perfect kills too! Orisa and Juno dead to the Deadeye, and nothing they could do about it. That was nasty from TSM. Man, guys, it's going to be such a close game. TZ, you're going to make it really interesting. Shut up! Shut up! I knew this was going to happen. No one ever listens to me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we have there's reason why we don't. You know, usually highly inaccurate.
No, you got.
we just said we had to fact check you in the last break, but
what was the result of that fact check? His name was Seabird or something like that. I don't know.
Seabird.
Yeah. Sigma's first name
is Seabird.
Yeah. You've never spoken to a Dutch person?
Bird. Okay.
Not spelled the same way. His name is.
I've never spoken to somebody called Seabird.
Yeah, I mean you should. I read it's Sebrin rather.
Oh, I mean that's completely different.
Oh, I'm telling you, of course. I'm talking to someone named Sebrin. Yeah.
I mean that sounds like a real name. I mean Seabird is like
Seabird.
Seabird. Type of bird.
SIEBERT is 100% a name, by the way. I didn't say Seabird. Come on.
Yeah, you said SEA bird.
Also,
BIRD.
I've literally met people from the United States of America whose first name is Bird.
Wow, the producer just came in here and said that he has no idea why you're.
No, because if he'd done that, I would have heard it too.
Correct. Nah, I mean you're just making things up at this point. Team Z on defense, in a world of hurt here at the moment. They got 90% right on the point, so I guess I know you don't have to get. It's a little bit harder than getting that one checkpoint. They gotta be careful of King.
Yeah.
Trying to line up some of those shots. The Widow is they'll go to that Far Widow? No, okay, it'll be a Widow Genji look.
Okay. I mean, we've seen that this generates so much pressure. Team Z don't really have a great option for answering this. They have the Genji, but I mean, Zen got the pick. It's like a Violet got money moment.
Well, now you have to play over the point, right? This is going to allow you to just get that Discord orbed out on whoever. Now this is going to be like 2 for Squid in the fight. It's, who steps up to contest here? I mean, there's a Pharah here above the point. You got to deal with the Orisa on it. You're going to get discorded. Is Painkiller who comes out of his lair there after getting the Mega Health Pack is going to get onto the point. Not going to last long, though.
Yeah, this one should be over in a couple moments here. Discord Orb on Peace, trying to find the Pharah. Should have chosen War instead at this rate. Oh, Tracer recall away, and that'll be that. TSM close up King's Row, and what a sick, honestly, what a sick full hold on defense. They first show us like a D.Va-based comp, and they're basically asking Team Z to have a plan. Like, what are you guys here to do? You want to take some high ground? We'll give you some, but how are you going to translate that into point control? You have to drop and contest at some point. Eventually, Team Z do. They figure it out. They start to put pressure on that point down. Iraq is back on the Orisa, and all of a sudden, you're in a whole different situation. It's a whole other kettle of fish to manage.
I mean, map 1, I was still high on Team Z. They look pretty good. Map number 2, not as much, right? As I think the Alari for TSM was an awesome addition on defense, right? It was making a big impact, you saw. being able to kind of like sit up on the high ground, keep the players alive up there, and then can just focus on damage. Is you take a look at some of the highlights, probably all going to be TSM clips here.
Yeah, I mean, look, a couple moments here. Actually, we did at least get to see some Team Z stuff, but I mean, the Iliari comp is really good. The pylons being ignored here, of course, is kind of something you have to do, but the fact that like Vision gets to play that like very aggressive spot on the high ground and never really has to be like actively attended to by one of his teammates, just like babysit the pylon and just never die. His captive stun here was really nice. Follow-up was good. So the outburst as well to make sure that Hanbei would be caught in the line of sight of Vision. I love that. I love that look from from TSM. It's very clear to see what they're trying to do with this composition. And Riker just realizes that it's better to switch the Orisa so you can really just stand and fight, because you know that high ground's under really no threat. Like, how many times did Peace try and go up there and fight the Cassidy? You're basically 1v2ing with the pylon in play. I mean, it's just definitely more effective than a lot of players in my game. So it's very, very hard to get past that high ground hit scan pressure.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the idea, to get up towards that high ground, right, and make the play like you were talking about, but not with the Orisa. You probably need, or if you're gonna have the Orisa go there, you need another hero to kind of come from that opposite side, right, and end up getting there in like a pinch. Just doing it solo is not gonna work, as you see some of the stats there. Quite ugly for Team Z.
Obviously, I invoked the name of Violet there because we used to see this from the old Houston team. Like, they would like play Zen on King's Road, right? One of the few teams that would do it against Dive, and Violet would just end up randomly killing like 1 or 2 people, and would really change the texture of the game. And again, when you have like this really commanding high ground presence, you can play something that's maybe a little bit more squishy. The Widow switch as well to claim it, nicely done by TSM. Yeah. So, map 3. Coming just around the corner. Do Team Z have a curveball to throw? It'll be a Hail Mary if that. So stick around. Map 3 of this last match of the day is coming up. Welcome back, folks. It's Team Z here in a position where they are teetering on the edge of being eliminated and seeing TSM advance to the main event here, OWCS Stage 4. It's up here. X10 out, XCal in. Looking to make the change now, as it must have something up their sleeve. Am I getting Gibraltar vibes? No.
No, you're getting Throne of Anubis vibes. That's a little bit of you were like, hey, maybe they got a curveball. Well, here it is, right? Throne of Anubis. Formerly the artist formerly known as Temple of Anubis. now in new form. We'll see what Team Z has, right? X10 plays a lot of the hit scan for this team. We'll see what they bring in XCal to play.
A Tracer player, maybe? We do sometimes see some of that when you can play Trace Adventure, Trace Genji. You can try that style, of course, on these kind of maps. Now, we've seen a lot of our Clash maps end up being fairly close to the end, and quite often, actually, somehow you sort of tend to be advantaged by losing the first point. It can really depend how the game breaks here, but we are fighting it back and forth across this map, and the first team for 5-point captures will win. We've seen a lot of 5-4, so expect this one to be messy. But hey, we did mention, I think it was maybe in a previous series, that Junker Queen does have legs here, can definitely get some work done. And XCal, what will it be? The Sim switch to Tracer. Yep, there you go.
Yep. Okay, so you were right. It's Team Z coming out. Tracer, Genji, Queen set up. I mean, it's got to happen, once every 7 years, right? How long we do this now?
It's such an arbitrary number. About 8, I think. Yeah, too long.
8? Yeah. I mean,
about 8 years too long, but
I probably need about a year or 2 before that. So once every 10 years, you get it right.
Okay. All right. Hey, this is hectic. This is frenzied fighting. I mean, the hyper ring's being used by both sides here. I think getting rid of the Junker Queen, though, is a big deal. Liar able to stay alive. XCal just pulls up short there. And these grenades are going to be important. There are so many people that could really be muted by that hindrance.
Yeah, Peace gets a few nice kills there on the Genji. I just don't think it's going to be enough, right? They do a nice job for TSM keeping Vision alive. And like you mentioned, right, you get that Queen out of the way. You can definitely survive a little bit longer. So XCal, just one spawn on the Tracer now. We're going to go over the Cassidy right away.
All right. Here they come forward. TSM on the point. Peace close to a blade. There was going to be Painkiller falling first again, though. Not what you want to see. And Peace is already headed for the hills. This one cooked. He was a bit of a long shot for Team Z to try and have a chance of taking C first. But no, TSM get the first point on the board.
I feel like you're gonna see this though, like Team Z, right, with the way they want to play with this comp, maybe a little bit less with the Cassie in the mix, but playing it with the Tracer, like you need to take fights. Like there's no reason for them to stand there and poke in the neutral, right? So you're gonna see them kind of go all in on TSM. You just hope if you're Team Z, it doesn't look like how it did on that first point.
All right. So far, not so bad for TSM. Already want to start this fight off early. Going to be a rally from Hanbei, though. Painkiller gets a nice axe connection, though. Hey, no one walking away from that one. Not even Waichio. Raiki here as well. Going to have that Terror Surge. Oh, yeah, no point using it here, as the rally really seems to be enough for TSM to have to give this up.
Yeah, I mean, everybody falls there for TSM. See, I don't even know if they're going to be able to get a touch. It looks like probably just going to play back for point C, get a setup there. So Team Z takes our second point of the game. We'll go back to point C, fight over this mid-map.
Painkiller did hit a knife there. Caught by a javelin instantly, though. So there's always this awkwardness for Junker Queen. Knocked back by javelins, by whip shots. Taking a lot of damage to advance. Doesn't mean Len gets a lot of ult charge, in fairness. It's really about getting Team Z's pieces in position. They got double DPS ultimate, but King's gonna pop his blade first, and in we go. Command and shout used there by Painkiller. But those torpedoes are gonna get the job done. Squid throws them out. Now Excal's falls backwards, tries to throw a grenade rather to cover the retreat. The TSM wanted more, and they're looking at having C for themselves yet again.
Yeah, and just can you get this second fight in a row, right? So that'll be the second point there for TSM. Can you just win back-to-back fights, right? That's what you're looking to do here, because Team Z not really able to build up towards anything in that previous fight, right? They're going to come in here, though, with a little bit of damage and healing. They'll poke around. They're going to get Rampage and Orbital Ray. But high ground control here for TSM. Maybe Vision can pick one off early. Squid also, with the damage being put down, going to build up towards an Orbital Ray.
Painkiller might be aiming a Rampage here, but everyone's on the high ground. It's terrible for the Queen. Vision drops. Deflect expires, but Peace gets out of the way. Oh no! Painkiller lost to the Deadeye. Devastating for Team Z now to have to play with 4. Orbit Array, really unnecessary. They're given what they were able to do in that fight. Key pick, and this will give them D. Team Z should be able to come back in and stop this map from ending prematurely.
And Painkiller, I mean, that's a tough one right there. And I mean, they get around the corner, right? And they know that the Deadeye is coming. And I think players all have, internal clocks, right? Knew the Deadeye was kind of coming up soon.
Yes.
But obviously doesn't have the knowledge that Vision has gone through Speed Ring on the opposite side, right? And then just turns the corner.
Nice Rampage. 5 plays in on a Rampage. Everyone bleeding out. Beautiful. I mean, point E is hard to take as it is. But that was impossible after TSM get hit by a fat ultimate from Painkiller. Very, very nice. And that'll get them back now in a fighting position for D.
I mean, 5-player Rampage there. I mean, not much else you can do about that if you're TSM. So Team Z, they kind of hold serve on their defensive spawn in their base. As now we'll go back to fight over point B, where TSM will try and get control of some of this high ground yet again. So no 2 fight wins in a row. TSM did try and put some pressure on the Team Z base, but those base checkpoints like A and E are very difficult to get.
Riker wants to step up here. There's a rally though that TSM will have to contend with. Excal? No, couldn't get the Deadeye off, but Pieces there with the blade. Liar does get pummeled here by the other Brig. That kill for King might be big. Okay, Terror Surge, good damage though on Len. Now that blade, King picks the perfect time to go for it here, and TSM might get into point back here. They haven't begun to cap it. Painkiller is still very healthy, but reinforcement should be close for, honestly, both teams.
Yeah, it was like a 2v1 there with Peace being taken out there. The blade from King was huge. As it was Riker and King alive against Painkiller, and it's going to be a little bit earlier here for the people of TSM getting on back. It'll be a Deadeye that comes through here with the Speed Ring yet again.
All right, that one's went straight into the shield of Hanbei, but Laia was there with some revenge shield bash kill. Now TSM would win the map either way if they took this point, so don't get too excited. Tough to take this one, but already Excal's gone down. Painkiller though there with the axe. This is where Junker Queen definitely can thrive. Orbital Ray though, TSM what this done now. Rally also going to get popped. Point is not unlocked yet, that's the problem. It doesn't unlock for another 10 seconds. They bang these massive ults out.
Yes, Hanbei goes over to the Zen, just I think from that upside perch there in the back, just trying to put down some damage there. So now point E is unlocked. It looks like TSM gonna be push back off the point here. So I wonder if they just decide, hey, you know what, let's just fall back and fight over D again. That's what it looks like they're gonna do at the moment.
It's a little dangerous because if they get snowballed to the next 2 points, they've lost the map, but obviously they have a plan. They feel like they can fight when the fighting is fair. It is not at E. The defender's advantage is ridiculous. So here we go, match point for TSM still. He's hoping to chase here, a little ways away from a blade though. Vision forced to concede that high ground away. It's King falling. No, XCal found them. Looks like they got really snarled up here, and this is, oh dear, this is looking like it might be a double match point at this rate. Fighting over C to end the map. Baraka's having to deal with Hanbei though. There's no Zen in play.
Yeah, this is the scary part about giving it up, right? It's highly unlikely. I mean, we haven't seen, at least in NA, any of the games that we've done, where a home point, whether A or E, has been taken. But just giving it up at that point, right, allows XCal to build up for some of these ults and maybe not giving it up.
Rampage comes out though, 3 players gonna be hit by the anti-heal. Liar down. XCal did fall in the meantime. Squid needs this orbital ray up as soon as possible. Somehow Riker was able to find peace, but the Zen's a problem. The Discord orb here really making Riker concerned. Still, they've stopped the cap. That's at least something TSM can hang their hats on. They can come back into the next fight. Len might not still have that orbital ray to work with.
I mean, do you orbital right now? I mean, you're gonna get Riker back out onto the point.
Do I say it again? King got into the spawn, went to spawn camp, the Juno. Here's a Deadeye from XCal, managed to find Squid. That is gonna be the ray already used though by the Juno. Can they get in there? Can they make use of it? Pieces forced to stop blocking, move away. Deadeye there made a lot of space by Vision, but you still need to finish the job if you're TSM. Peace sees Liar, sees Vision here with the Discord orb, wants to go in for the kill. Dangerous stuff though, as Riker turns 180 and throws the javelin at the defending Genji. Liar also discorded, Painkiller has to give this ground though. Halfway to the cap for Team C, and now their orbital ray is online. This is getting pretty feverish. Now Riker drops again with another Terror Surge, trying to force the Junker Queen away from her optimal range, but in with the Discord Orb now comes the Ray. Team Z throws it down, it's going to be Painkiller with a Rampage now. Riker's already fallen though, and the way is open for Team Z to clean this fight up and hold on to the Queen ultimate.
Yeah, oh man, just back and forth there. Team Z finally comes out on top. Some changes for both sides just to get back. Make it interesting as it'll be Vision going back to the Cassidy here. We will end things where we started. Checkpoint C opens on up. I think probably the biggest thing there, Mitch, is Len has to use that orbital ray towards the end there, so not going to have it back for a bit here, as Liar's going to open things up here with a rally.
Terror Surge for Riker still held in reserve. Play on that low ground there, but Peace has gone low. Commanding Shout's going to keep them alive, and Vision goes down to a torpedo of all things. Liar with the rally now. TSM have priority on the point, and Painkiller is already out of the fight. We might see a stall from Team Z by a little bit of time. This is it for both teams. Double map point. But Peace is down. Team Z had to give it up for now, but can they get a touch? Can they get there? I think this is done. Nobody close enough. Yep, XCal eventually going to get mowed down by Liar. And that will be the series. TSM close it out in a swift 3-0.
Yeah, I thought it may have potentially been a close one, but it is not. TSM, they cement their spot at the main event. I believe it's a first-round matchup against Nightmare. That'll be a really awesome one to see, as Team Z not strong enough in the end.
Whew, that was fun. Clash is good for those fights.
Yeah, Clash is chaos. I mean, there is just a lot of just fighting. Just it feels like an all-out brawl the entire time.
It was, but I mean, TSM definitely, it was 3-0 victory. They looked a lot stronger than Team Z. A lot of great, I think all the players just looked fantastic on TSM.
Yeah, absolutely. I also was quite happy to see TSM still try for the Diva. I thought the King's Row Diva defense should be studied, especially in a meta that features Orisa so strongly. Maybe against a higher caliber team, it's harder to get away with that. But the Iliari defense, I was a really big fan of that. Also, the little Zen play on Nepal.
Zen?
I'm kind of vibing. It's a flavor win at least.
Yeah, they did a lot of different things, interesting things that we haven't seen a lot of other teams do, right? Talking about TSM, that definitely ended up paying off, right? We saw Squid play some Zen, we saw the Ilari, which on King's Row we definitely liked. So a lot of different types of compositions here out of TSM to get the win.
Give me more of this Ilari. This is so troll. The turret that shook the world, basically. I don't know. Yeah, look, I'm very happy to see some variety from TSM and no generational chokes this time. They are going to be making a course into the main event, which is frankly where they belong. And also because they can keep breathing down the neck of NRG Shock as well. And make sure we keep them honest, make sure they really own that spot, heading into Stockholm. Because they're a bit behind, but they're only like 140 points or so behind Nightmare. They can make up that gap. Anything could happen. Still in the air, so I'm here for it.
How do you guys feel like TSM is going to do against Nightmare? Because you guys were saying that was going to be the next match in the main event, right? TSM versus Nightmare?
Yeah, I believe, the second out of Group D would play first out of Group C, right? So that would set up a Nightmare versus TSM matchup. Oof. That is...
I do not know. That one
is tough.
That is anyone's game.
Seeker versus
I tell you what, though. So you talked, Mitch, about TSM needing like a lot of points to kind of make their way into the real major.
Yeah, that and
Stockholm,
NRG
right?
Shock kind of choking in the main event.
So we see Squid here, player of the match, well deserved, played a lot of different heroes, able to do so. So you mentioned that you need both those things to happen. Toronto plays Shock in round 1. And then on the bottom side of the bracket, the other match with Nightmare and TSM is Fluffy Dreamland Shikigami. So you think that maybe, hey, you know what, we win that round 1, we get either Fluffy Dreamland or Shikigami, maybe make a little bit of a run, right? You know, that would get
Honestly,
you a winner. That would get you a winner final. That would get you top 3 guarantee, right? It's not inconceivable, especially Shock. What you play, Toronto in round 1 there for the Shock. That's a tough one. I mean, yeah, it's possible.
I'm hyped for this main event. I still think like Toronto are above and beyond, like just such a good team. But honestly, that second place that's anyone's. And remember, if Toronto, it's important because if Toronto already qualify, like the qualification falls down, right? Like they obviously can't qualify in 2 slots. There's a qualification for top circuit points and then top of stage 4. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think main event is shaping up to be really exciting for NA, both NA and EMEA. Well, for now, I think we're gonna do a quick post-match interview. We have a special one for you guys. It's going to be Cap, the coach of TSM, waiting in line for a quick chat.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. Hey, first of all, congratulations on getting the win. I mean, you guys really needed this win in order for you to move on to the main event. So, as a coach, how did you prepare your players heading into the match today?
Well, I mean, we kind of assumed that most of the teams with the Korea matches happening, we're just going to copy that comp, and we're pretty good at that comp and playing against it. They did come out with a little bit of unorthodox stuff with the Queen, but it was still all within the realm of, what we're prepped for, and the fundamentals are basically the same, and we just came in and 3-0'd.
We see Squid roll out on Nepal just on the Zen straight away. Is that because you're expecting to see Orisa and maybe a little surprised to see the Queen? You still stick to it, and obviously you get a ton of value from it over the course. So even against the Seeker, I think you keep playing the Zen there. What's the thinking bringing that in?
Yeah, well, we do need to strat save a tiny bit, but it's something we've been experimenting with. We think it's pretty strong, and yeah, like you said, especially against the Orisa, it's really, really difficult, especially for a lot of these tanks that really didn't play Overwatch 1 as much and aren't as used to the Zen. It's been catching a lot of people off guard, and yeah.
Yeah, Zen's been a little bit dormant here in Overwatch 2, I think, for a while. But, obviously, congrats, you get a big win here today. That would match you guys up against Nightmare there in the main event in that first round. Early impressions, thoughts, and potentially on what to look out for in that match.
Well, Nightmare, that is like the match that we've really been preparing for the whole time, obviously, because that third spot is kind of, I think, mostly between us and them. So getting to face them early on it's actually kind of nice for us, just because being able to prep directly for that match and just like, kind of get that out of the way as early as possible. The loser of that is going to have to really run the gauntlet in lower bracket probably, because NRG and Toronto play each other almost immediately, which means one of them is going to be your match in lower bracket probably right after that. So I think if we really lock in for that match, which I think we're confident for it, and send them to that lower bracket, it's going to be really hard to claw your way back from that. So we're excited for it.
All right, Coach. We're gonna end the interview here. Thank you so much for your insight and good luck. Best of luck going into the main event.
Thank you.